Hey guys, what's up? It's Mike. Happy New Year, I guess, everyone. I'm recording this video. It's sort of the 2nd of January, and I didn't get to do any videos for the New Year like I planned, just because I got busy, like with planning for New Year and just other things came up, and I actually regret not finishing stuff because just like new comic book days in a couple is in 2 days, and just like I have a lot of videos on the back burner, and I really was looking forward to doing like a top 10 video for 2011. I guess I'm not gonna do it. It's sort of a little late now. um Maybe in the next couple of weeks or next week, in this week or so, I'll be doing my favorite covers or books of the past year. Maybe not, I'm not sure yet. But I'm gonna be doing a review that I didn't get to do a couple weeks ago, just because my friend finally returned my Wolverine and the X-Men #2. So I'm gonna be reviewing Wolverine X-Men #2 and #3. These came out a while ago. Like Wolverine X-Men #2 came out back in November, and 3 came out in December. And it being January, it's been a while. Um, so to start off, we're gonna start off with Wolverine X-Men 2. Also, on a side note, as you can see on my wall, I sort of put new posters up. The one on the right, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. That's the same up. And on my left is an Avengers I got, and there'll be more random posters being thrown up on my wall next couple of days as I sort of redecorate my room. Um, so Wolverine the X-Men #2. So this was released back in November, um, under the creative team of um, Jason Aaron, Chris Bachalo, and who is it? And I actually just am dumb and don't. I'm just dumb. And who's this person? I'm blank. I always do this. I always blank out on Tim Townsend, who is the inker and the who's the inker. Um, so this issue starts off where left issue one left off. Issue one, the school. Wolverine just opened his school and they were attacked by the Hellfire Club. Issue 2 starts off with essentially Wolverine and Iceman. They're outside, they're fighting. Essentially, they think it's an earthquake and they have to go get the kids. Wolverine sort of cuts up the rocks and they punch him in the face. And Iceman's like, really? Did that just happen? All around the school is just chaos. The Hellfire kids brought they brought a Sauron and a Wendigo. They're attacking the students. They have a bunch of Frankenstein monsters. They're just going all out to destroy the X-Men. Um, so we see all the reactions to it. Whereas Rachel Gray is trying to psychically fight them off. Um, Edie, she was part of Generation Hope, but she defected to Wolverine's team or side. She's wondering if she's allowed to kill these people because she's a very mixed up girl at this moment, and she and the brood, the mutant brood, sort of have a moment. I guess they sort of fall for each other, love at first sight type of thing. But they're chit chatting stuff, and then um it gets to the point where they're being overrun. Just the X Men are being overrun. So, and in the beginning of the issue, Wolverine is talking to Iceman, and he tells him, you've always been the favorite uncle, the funny guy, um, but he needs Bobby to step up to be more than that, to be amazing. Because Bobby has a lot of untapped potential. You can't leave that anymore in the tank, like when no one's dying anymore. So Bobby, he sees this. He's like, you know what? He's been in a lot of things, and he decides he's gonna step it up. Um, he manages to create like clones of himself, like ice clones, and controls them, and like they all talk and they all share his personality and his, I guess, like a hive mind. And everyone's just surprised. Like no one knew he could do this. He didn't know. He was like, you know what? Might as well, when you get the impulse, do it. So he uses his ice soldiers to fight off all the Frankenstein monsters. And there's this weird, pretty interesting moment where one of his ice clones makes out with Kitty Pryde, and then just stops moving because of his ice powers. Um, when they find out that that all the Frankenstein monsters are destroyed, the Hellfire soldiers they send in their secret weapon, which is Krakoa, the island monster, the living island, and it attacks the X-Men, and it grabs everyone. And Wolverine's like, I know this face. This is Krakoa. Rachel Gray's like, you guys were not joking that there's an actual island that tried to kill you. He's like, yeah. Um, and the issue essentially ends with Kid Omega. He's talking about how everyone at the school is stupid, how he's the smartest, how he's the only one that could stop Krakoa, and he probably won't do it because he just doesn't care. And that's how issue 2 ends. So here's the thing. Issue 2 is great, continuing on what happened with issue 1, especially with this the whole theme of regenesis and just a new age of the X-Men. Um, it otherwise there's I don't really have any problems with it. Like, truth be told, story wise, solid story from Jason Aaron. What is this? Solid story writing from Jason Aaron. Chris Bachalo's art is awesome. Like, nothing to complain about on either ends. In terms of this, so overall, I'm just gonna rate the issue, but there is one minor issue I have with the series, and I'll address it in issue 3. Um, but so yeah, story solid. Not much change. Just a lot of action, which is great. Like, this book is action packed, and the art just bring helps Jason Aaron like bring so much more out for this, especially the cool things they do. Especially like when Iceman uses his new powers, there's multiple versions of him. Like, there's a really like monsterish ice monster. Like, there's a snowman version. There's a more modern, sleek version that many people may know from the X-Men cartoon, or like the I guess modern, early modern Iceman, where he was just an ice body, or from the Spider-Man Amazing Friends Iceman. Um, yeah, there's a whole different bunch of versions of Iceman, which was really cool. Other things like Rachel Gray, she created like a fire sword with her telepathic powers, which was really interesting. Um, and just the art top notch in this book. I'm actually really upset that in issue 4, I believe, Nick Bradshaw is taking over the art on Wolverine and the X-Men. His art is, I'm not too fond of it. He draws his characters a little weird, for me, but they still had the same tone as Chris Bachalo's. They're like Wolverine short and stocky. Um, I just really like Chris Bachalo's art. It is awesome, and especially these covers. Except 33 is just, but this cover is pretty awesome. Wolverine jumping into a giant mouth. Iceman's there, Beast is there. Um, a whole bunch of like Nightcrawler, little ghoul things. It's really good. So I'm gonna be getting issue 2 a 4 out of 5. The only reason is something that I'll address at the end of issue 3, which is just the problem I have with issue 2 and 3, and sort of with 1. Now that After looking back on it, so yes, 4 out of 5 for issue 2. So issue 3 out of 5 starts off with Ken Omega. He's just talking about how he's pretty much awesome. Oh no, wrong. It starts off with Cap and Logan, Captain America, Steve Rogers, and Logan. They're talking, and Logan, explaining how he sung at school, and Cap's sort of like joking around. They've known each other for a long time. They're close friends. He's like, Logan, you're Avenger. All right, we're friends. I have your back, and the Avengers have your back whenever you need it. He tells Cap that he's gonna try to help save Kid Omega, um, Kid Omega, who is an Omega level mutant, and he just knows if Kid Omega is put in prison or in a detention facility, he's just gonna become an Omega level threat to the world. And Wolverine wants a chance to try to redeem him and to try to make him a hero, or just make him a better person. And Wolverine's like, no matter what happens, I'll take responsibility. And Wolverine and Cap is like, Cap okays it essentially, but he needs like weekly reports and updates on Quick Inquiry's behavior. So that's how it starts off, and then it continues with Quinquire. He's basically fighting off he's just sitting watching this, and a bunch of Frankenstein monsters come in. Not Frankenstein, Sauron and Wendigo come in chasing Edie and Brew. And and he is essentially, he makes them fight each other. He using his powers, and he sort of jokes around with them, and they don't really know who he is. And then Kid Gladiator, who is the son of, I guess, Gladiator from the Shi'ar Empire, him and Warbird, his bodyguard, come in. They're fighting a whole bunch of monsters, and they're really excited. And they're like, this school's awesome. I want to go fight more stuff. And Kid Omega's like, you guys should know me. I single-handedly had the schism. I'm Kid Omega. Everyone's just like, who are you? Which is, I thought, found really entertaining that no one knew who he was. And he's a major player in X-Men. He back when in Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, Kid Omega played a major role, I believe. Yeah, I believe he played a major role in that, and he's played a major role in a lot of the X-Men arcs. Schism, he was in Schism, and he also had a role in the deaths of one of the Cuckoos, things like that, and the Cuckoo sisters. So yeah, he's a really and he's an extremely powerful character. So he decides, you know what, like, you guys cannot just walk away from me. I'm Quentin Quire. And the X Men are just getting their asses whipped by this island. They are just like, holy crap, what can we do? Um, Quentin is like, you know what, these people are dumb. I got this. Rachel Gray tries to communicate with him, but she can't. So Quentin essentially talks to him. He's like, you know what? Oh, you're not really, you don't really hate us. You're not really Krakoa. You're like a grand kid that was raised in a lab by some bunch of like spoiled brats. Yeah, Yada is like, you know what? This is what we're gonna do, and he convinces Krakoa to stand down, and essentially Krakoa talks to Rachel Gray and becomes an X-Man. He joins the X-Men. Um, when and after that, the the students, the Krakoa stops fighting, and the Hellfire Club kids, they are upset. They're like, we just failed. What happened? And the X-Men are right behind them. Beast severed their control over Krakoa, and Wolverine tells him just one thing: stay the hell away from my school. And you just see the X-Men about to like wreck face like on these kids. The kids run away, and Bobby's like, "What should we let them go?" He's like, Wolverine's like, "Yeah, I'll deal with them." And Bobby's like, "We just got our asses kicked by 12-year-olds." He's like, "Don't say anything." And they all leave, and then we see Wolverine implement his plan, which is actually pretty funny. Where you see Matt Murdock, he storms into one of the Hellfire kids, Cade Kilgrove, I think his name, Cade Kilgrove, something like that, who's the current leader of the Black King, and he hands him a piece of paper. He's like, "You're being sued," and the kid reads it. And he's like, "Yes." He's like, "I'm being sued." He's like, "Yes, for $587 million worth of damages levied like by Wolverine." And the kid freaks out. He's like, "By Wolverine," which is hilarious. Wolverine suing someone, and he's like, "If," and Daredevil's like, Matt Murdock saying, "If you can't pay, you know, we'll take control of your company. That's fine too." And he's like, Wolverine also had a message, and he's like, "Right back at you, kid," which I love. It's just Wolverine taking the children's best interests at heart, and not doing it in a typical Wolverine fashion, which is, you know, not like claws blazing. He's trying to build an environment where these kids can grow up and be kids, but at the same time be heroes, and which is I love how Jason Aaron's been doing that. We then move on back to the school, and the kids, not the kids, the two board of education members who came to inspect the school, they've lost their memories from the previous day, so they think they just arrived, and they're having a great time, and they like Beast and everyone's entertaining them, and there's no chaos anymore, so they leave. They're gonna come back when the school's rebuilt to validate it again because it was just trashed. Krakoa is helping out the students, like, and the faculty by being an X-Man, by growing trees when they need it and things like that, because they're having classes outdoors because the school building is just trashed. And they're all wonders like did who cleared Krakoa's mind, and Rachel's like, was it Quentin? And Wolverine's like, maybe it was, but we'll never know. But let's think that he was the one who did it. And Quinquire, he's sunbathing in like a speedo with headphones and sunglasses on, just outside, with us entertaining sign that says "Send more Sentinels," which is pretty funny. The issue ends with Wolverine. He's like, you know what? Regardless of what happened, not a bad first day. Um, and then he sees a bunch of the mini, I guess, demi nightcrawlers run off with this whiskey, and he chases after them. And then we see the issue officially ends with the Hellfire Club, the Cade Kilgrove, whatever Kilgrove. Cade, he's fighting. He's really upset, but he has a plan to get back Wolverine, and he's talking to someone who has experience dealing and causing Wolverine pain, and it's revealed that it's Sabretooth. And it's like, Sabretooth, what happened? Sabretooth's alive? What? Yeah, Sabretooth's alive. And Sabretooth's promised, he's like, I'm gonna go hit him hard, because because you're paying me. And that's where the issue ends. Now, issue 3, great issue, strong way to finish the first arc. Just short and sweet, 3 issue arc, introducing all the characters, what's happening and how Wolverine's changing as a person, because he can no longer be that running gun. He has to use his head a little bit because he's taking these kids like well-being to heart, and that's his priority. So story-wise, it's a solid way to end an arc. Um, Art-wise, Chris Bachalo's art is great. Not really, nothing I can complain about. This issue, I feel the lines got a little sloppy in certain areas where there was too much happening, like during some of the fight scenes, and sometimes it was hard to follow along during the spreads just because the way the panels were lined up. I can't really, that's just a minor like detail that was just like, it happens. Sometimes you might misread a page and because of just the way the art was spread out, but the art is amazing, vibrant. All the characters look amazing. Nothing really to complain about. I actually haven't had much to complain about this book except one overall problem, which I'm gonna address after I rate this. So overall, we give this issue a 4 out of 5. Like this book series has been really solid, and I hope it continues that. So why isn't Wolverine the X-Men 2 and 3 get 5 out of 5s if I don't really have complaints? The thing is, when I first picked up this book, I was looking forward to, like, I guess a school type shenanigans book. Like I think I like the action. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would have preferred more of a, if you focus more on the students and like just school based everyday, like you could do standalone issues about like classes and just the shenanigans that goes on in the school. It was just something I was really looking forward to. I believe issue 4 is gonna be like that. It seems like based on the cover preview that they released, issue 4 looks really nice. It looks like it's gonna be about the students, and I hope the book, like, I like the action, and don't get me wrong, but I'd prefer it to be mostly about the students and the school more than Wolverine, doing like fighting and doing other things. Because I want to see how the school, evolves, and how the student body emerges as like X-Men, separate from Cyclops' faction. Well, that's it for my video. I'm rushing; it's getting pretty long. um, Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to get my Bat book out, my Batman reviews out this week, and I'm gonna be doing Flash and Justice League reviews this week, right before a New Comic Book Day, or maybe on New Comic Book Day. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy this. Let me know. Watch my other videos if you like other books. I'm gonna try and spread out my reviews. I might start just like reviewing like going through like every week whenever books come out. I'm gonna review a couple of different books. I might not purchase them. I might just read them and then review them. I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure it out. But thanks for watching, guys. Like my video. If you really hate these books, let me know. If you like these books, tell me what you're reading, things like that. Subscribe. I'm always interested in you guys' opinions. Thanks for watching, and have a great New Year, guys.